Hello and welcome to chapters 6 and 7 of Falling in Love with God by Dr. Rahman Beckwith. And if you have been with us in this book study, you know how it goes. You basically can get this book on my website, drrahmanbeckwith.com, or on Amazon, and then you can start off with us studying the chapters, looking for the really pivotal points about love and mysticism, learning about the self and the divine. And yeah, it's been fun. So you should be able to find the videos here on YouTube and then just follow along in order. So today we're talking about chapter 6. By the way, in case you didn't know, this is a bit of a spoiler. We will be talking about points in the story, so ideally you can read it first and then join us. So, chapter 6. We have a fun chapter. Our character, Charity, is teaching a class at a university, and she is teaching mysticism, spirituality, and she brings in a poetry book to read to the class. So she reads, God, I write many poems to you, for you, and about you. When are you going to write a love poem for me? And he said, everything is a love poem for you. Isn't that sweet? Everything is a love poem for you. It just warms the heart, right? This dialogue with God, this way that certain poets will just speak to the divine and have this sort of intimate conversation that they share with you so you can understand the way that we can relate to the universe. And so she goes on to say that this is from A Gift of Joy. Spoiler alert. The author is Dr. Rahman Beckwith, a contemporary poet. So, yes, it's a meta thing going on there. So, this book is one of the examples. And so the first exercise in this chapter is to just find those writings. We've talked about this in previous chapters. Extend yourself. Look for poets like Rumi, like myself, like Hafiz. Spiritual poetry that just sets your heart alight, awakens that calling within you and speaks to you. So that is the first exercise. The second, Charity tells her class, this exercise is for you. It says, I want you to write love poems about your connection with the divine as you know it. Today, you are the mystics. You are the intoxicated lovers. So Charity tells her class, and this will be the second activity, to write your own spiritual poetry, to be the one who's having that intimate contact with the powers that be as you know them, that God, the divine, the love in your heart, personified, externalized within you, without, all around you, the source, basically connecting, having a conversation, having a communion, and writing that as your own poetry. So the students do this, and they have beautiful, heart-opening experiences, some of them laughing, crying, their faces full of beauty and light and love in this sort of divine collaboration and recognition, recollection of that power. So the third activity for this week will be to collaborate, as the students do in the book, to share this poetry. You can share it right below the video in the comments section. I promise to read as many as I can. Share your verses, lines that jumped out, poetry, spirituality. I have actually a Facebook group called I Am Rumi, Where Is My Shams, where people share a lot of that as well. That's actually based on the title of another one of my books, but people use it as a forum to post Rumi poetry, beautiful spiritual verses and topics, books, gatherings, and things like that. So basically sharing, it can be within your own, your own social media or mine, anywhere. Instagram, you can feel free to post your poetry, your insights, so that everyone can enjoy them. So the collaboration is the third activity. Fourth, our character, Charity, is called back from all of this love and this spiritual poetry in the class. she has a moment of revelry, of recognition, of remembrance, of a trip that she took to Greece. She went to the temple of Aphrodite, or Venus, the goddess of love, and at the temple she felt this overwhelming sense of peace and harmony. And yes, I have been there, so I can say the character knows what she's talking about. There is just a vibration of love, of the ancient worship and peace and love in that space really touched our character. So the fourth activity for you this week is to visit a spiritual love location, meaning a house of spirituality, any denomination, or even a place in nature. Just basically bringing yourself purposefully to a place of spiritual resonance and vibration, frequency, and experiencing that, letting your heart resonate with that and open in that space. So that is your fourth activity this week. Next, on page 45, we have Charity reflecting upon the love that she felt in that space. And she goes through the fact that she realized, she had an epiphany that love is everywhere. Love is all there is. If you see through the eyes of love, you can see love in every moment of life. So she says there's love for friends, family, love for students, love for strangers, love for children, love for animals, love for nature. Greek words for love such as brotherly love, long-lasting love, parental love, selfless love. Agape is one of the words. There's so many words for love. So she goes extensively through this on page 45. And so your reflection will be reflecting on the categories of love, the different types of love that you have present in your life. And you can use these as some prompts to make you aware of the love that is there for you. And then Charity mentions, and she wonders, if there is a kind of love of completion, a divine love, where one realizes that they are love, that they themselves include all types of love. Was there a name for this kind of love in which one just overflows with boundless love? So the activity number 6 will be to make up your own name. For fun, make up a name for this kind of love of divine completion that Charity is describing here on page 46. So that is that. And finally, Charity is feeling pretty good after this class. Her students are grateful. Everyone's feeling very high frequency and good energy. And Charity is excited to see what is inspired next from the divine, what she's inspired to do or to think about. So the last activity for this chapter is to look for divine inspiration in your life. How do you recognize it? Is it dreams, feelings, ideas? Please comment below with the ways that you receive divine inspiration so that we can all learn and expand together, because people often receive in similar ways their own divine clarity, feelings in the heart. Just let us know, leave a comment, and reflect upon how you receive your inspiration. So that is that activity. So that, I love that chapter. I think it's a fun chapter, and there's a lot to think about, different kinds of love. Now, chapter 7 is not very long. Basically, Charity comes out of her classroom, and she sees a student having an anxiety attack. So there is an emotional support dog there. There are teachers and students. And basically, Charity is just touched. You know, she's moved by the unconditional love shown by all of those present. And the question for this chapter is just, how do you have unconditional love and support from the universe shown in your life? How is that showing up for you? And you can enjoy reflecting on that, listing, brainstorming, again, commenting, sharing, whatever you like. So that is this week's study. If you enjoyed it, please leave a thumbs up, subscribe so you're here for next week's video. Please share it with anyone who might want to reflect and fill their hearts with the conscious presence of love. And yes, so I will see you next time. Thank you again for doing this so important work of opening your heart, filling your heart, uplifting the world through the frequency of love. and you have all of my love and appreciation and respect for being here. So I will see you in the next one.